Welcome to the Draft Conversation. I'm Dan Zielinski of baseballprospectjournal.com, and joining me today is Wisconsin right-handed prep pitcher Peter Kussow of Arrowhead High School. Peter, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I appreciate the time. I'm excited for the conversation. Being a guy from Wisconsin, being able to talk to a fellow Wisconsinite, always enjoy it. Just how's the offseason been? Kind of what has been the focus for you this offseason?
Offseason's been great. Main focus is just obviously getting stronger, getting bigger as a person, and then also a lot of aspects of the pitching, gaining velo, getting more comfortable with my pitches.
You're a guy that had a lot of success junior year. I know you competed in the fall at WWBA. Kind of what's the throwing program look like right now? Have you taken some time off and take us through that?
Yeah, I took some time off after Jupiter. I took probably about month and a half off, and then first week of December I started throwing up again, and then I have been throwing since then about three or 4 days a week, I'd say. I'm throwing my first bullpen next week, so I'm near like 80-90%, I would say. So I'm just getting ready for the high school season.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not that far off even. So it's gonna come up quickly here. But like I said, you're a guy that competed on the showcase circuit after your junior season, had a lot of success. What was it like competing in PG National at Jupiter, events like that, and how did that really just help your development?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, PG National, you're playing against some of the best players in the country, some of the guys you see on your social media page sometimes, and you're like, holy crap, like these guys, and then you're playing against them. I mean, just going up and competing against them, competing against the best has definitely helped me a lot during just knowing that I can compete as a person against these guys. It really helped my development, especially going down there and pitching in some of these stadiums and getting a feel for what an MLB stadium feels like pitching.
For sure. You're a guy you talked about wanting to add strength to your frame. You're someone who's 6'5", 215. You've had about 10, 15 pounds since last season. What is the focus for you throughout this offseason? Where do you want to see growth in your game as you prepare for your senior season?
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely always velo. I feel like you can always go up on the velo. But I'd say another one of the main areas I would say is definitely getting more comfortable with my changeup. I've thrown a changeup in the past, but it hasn't been necessarily as much in my arsenal. And one of my goals for this next upcoming spring season has that third pitch to be able to keep these hitters on their toes.
Yeah, I want to ask you about those pitches because you really have an electric mix, especially with that fastball breaking ball combination. Big frame, like I said, 6'5", 215. You're really a power pitcher, and I think you have all the traits to be a starter, hopefully long term. Take us through the pitches you do throw and kind of give us a self-scouting report of how you view them currently.
Yeah, I definitely view my fastball. Let's start with my fastball. I view my fastball. I mean, I throw it probably 91 to 92, top in 94. It has a little bit of arm side run, which is useful to help get on the righties. Um, I can throw it up or I can throw it down in the zone. Either one is perfect with me. And then my breaking ball, I would say probably my breaking ball is my best pitch out of all of them. I My breaking ball typically is around 80 to 82, I would say. Can get up in the mid 80s, but it's definitely it wipes some hitters out. It's fun to throw.
Yeah, that's a nasty pitch. I know talking to some scouts, they rave about it and compare it to some major league guys as breaking pitch. Has it always been that good, or when did it really kind of turn a corner for you?
Yeah, it's definitely as I got maybe I started throwing it when I was maybe 12, 13 years old. It's always had the movement, but never as much like the sharpness and just consistently working on it with my Eric Semmelhack at Sticks, consistently working on it throughout the years and just gaining strength and going into my body has really helped it with both the velo and the shape of the pitch.
How much do you look at the analytics of your pitches, especially that pitch in particular?
I mean, I would say I look at it sometimes. I definitely don't like disregard it, but I wouldn't say it's the main thing I look at.
What was it like too? I mean, Wisconsin high school baseball has gotten better over the years, but when you're a Wisconsin high school pitcher throwing low 90s, you're going to put a lot of guys, strike a lot of guys out, get a lot of swing and misses with that. When you're on the showcase circuit, everyone has faced 90-mile-an-hour, low 90s, anything really in the 90s in that regard. So, how did that just help kind of evaluate kind of where your pitches were at, being able to face those hitters that are used to premium velocity like you throw?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, I will say it helps in high school that I play in the Classic 8, so you're playing against the Muskegos and the Ocons where you have top premier hitters in the state. But definitely where you're facing the summer league, where you're facing guy in and out, like these guys have seen you, like seen guys like me. But definitely it just shapes up to compare like how I feel against some of these guys, shapes up to how some of my pitches are against some of these guys, and how I can throw them even not on my best days, but how I could work around some of these hitters to get outs.
Sure, sure. You talked about the changeup earlier, and I know with the changeup, that's always a tough pitch for most high school guys to develop just because you can't throw consistently, at least in game. For you, when I see your changeup, it does show some of those characteristics that show that it can be a swing and miss pitch moving forward. Kind of where do you feel like the changeup's at, and what's going to be key as you continue to develop that pitch?
Yeah, I feel like my changeup has definitely got improved a lot from last year. I feel like it can be one of my main pitches this year in the upcoming season. I feel like it can be definitely that swing and miss pitch where if a guy happens to be on my fastball, you throw a changeup and it just drops right by him.
Talking about your skill set here, I know we talked a lot about your pitches, but I kind of want to dive into just who you are as a pitcher. When you look at yourself, just what do you feel like is the biggest strength in your game right now?
I would say definitely my competitiveness, just that the pure drive to win every single pitch for sure. I love competing I love competing against the best hitters in the state and in the country. I'll never shy down from a competition.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like you mentioned earlier too, the Classic Eight's loaded with a lot of guys that are going D1, especially some of the top hitters in that conference. We talked about the changeup, where you kind of want to improve with that, but just in general too, where do you want to see growth in your game throughout your senior year?
Yeah, definitely with fastball, the velo on my fastball, I feel like that could be a key contributor. And then my breaking ball, so gaining velo and just getting some of that sharpness, like keep hammering down at that sharpness. I feel like that can really send hitters into a loop.
Yeah, I'm curious. You're at GRB. You work out at GRB Sticks. How long, first off, have you been with them?
I've been with GRB since I was 11,
Okay.
and then we merged with Sticks 2 years ago. So I've been practicing at the Sticks facility for the past 2 years, but I've been with GRB since I've been 11.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, GRB's done a nice job of really producing talent for really college and even pro ball. How has that helped you in your development, getting some of that experience with working with guys who have kind of been where you want to get?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at Sticks and GRB, you're always facing against the best talent in the state. You're always feeling like these guys are the guys I want to be competing against, and it improves you even if you don't think it that way, but it definitely improves you. And then working with the guys at GRB like Eric Semmelhack, it's detrimental to your progress.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're a guy too that you've really made a lot of strides throughout high school. You're the top ranked player in the state and really a talented guy with a bright future. What's it been like to see your development throughout high school into the player you are today?
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting. I've been just from like 13 and 14U, just this long, lanky kid that always been able to throw a little bit harder. But then as going into my like sophomore year, just kind of getting up into my body, like really filling out my body more, just seeing that development, it felt great to me because it finally feels like all the hard work was paying off.
Was that really kind of when you thought like, hey, I could have a bright future in baseball post high school?
Yeah, absolutely, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. You let's talk about Arrowhead. You guys made it to the state tournament last year. Had a quality season. Expectations are always high at a program like Arrowhead. How's the team looking, or how do you think the team is going to look this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think we can reload. We can go right back to the state
Yeah.
tournament. I believe our pitching staff is loaded with talent. I believe my buyouts, I believe it's the best in the state. But then we also have some of our hitters are just it's amazing. I really feel like we can make a deep playoff run and even bring home a state championship.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to see how you guys do. Like, you guys were close last year, but like you said, you have a lot of talent coming back. And Louisville, you're a Louisville commit. For a while there, it seemed like every top Wisconsin guy was committed to Louisville. It's kind of died down a little bit, but you're committed to Louisville and quality program, really good coaching staff, and they've produced a lot of guys for pro ball. Take us through the recruiting process and what ultimately led to you going to Louisville.
Yeah, I would say the recruiting process really started in August going into my sophomore year. Really that summer opened up my eyes to the recruiting process. And I would say it was pretty quick and pretty powerful. Just going and playing fall ball, and then throwing down in Fort Myers in front of a bunch of scouts and throwing well down there. Louisville invited me down to a camp down in October, mid-October. I threw down in the camp. They offered me 2 days later. I absolutely loved the coaching staff and felt like I could really meet my end goals there. I really feel like they have the best coaching staff in the nation, and I can really um, go play Major League Baseball post college after for there. So that's why I committed to Louisville.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, I mean, again, they've produced a lot of great talent. So I'm excited to see if you make it to campus, how things go for you. And a couple quick hitters here for you, Peter. First, I got to ask your sister, Natalie, five-star basketball player. She's a junior at Arrowhead, just broke the program scoring record. I'm curious, with both of you guys being such high-end athletes, what's the dynamics like in the household?
Yeah, we try not to play basketball or sports like that. It gets really competitive. I said there was a little point in there where our parents like told us that we couldn't play basketball because it always end up with one of us fighting about it. But it definitely helps because my mom, she cooks amazing healthy meals for both of us, which really helps gaining weight and gaining strength. And then always being like at being somewhere to go improve your game, it really does help. And it does help having a sister like that where she understands where some of the commitments you have to make as an athlete are. It really does help.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm assuming obviously you've played basketball, but did you play basketball at all in high school?
Not in high school.
No,
I
no.
played basketball up until seventh grade.
Yeah. Baseball only guy, I'm assuming in high school.
I played football my freshman year, but
Okay.
then baseball kind of took over with fall ball and recruiting and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. A couple more here for you, Peter. You kind of maybe answered this and a few of the questions I asked you, but one thing I like to always ask the guys I speak with is simply just who's had the biggest impact on your career so far?
Definitely my parents. I would say my parents just kind of getting the hard work mindset. Always try and improve on yourself. I would definitely, yeah, my parents for sure.
Cool. And then another one I like to ask all the guys I speak with is simply just what motivates you to play the game of baseball?
I want to play baseball at the highest level. That's always been my dream since I was a little kid. I mean, I love competing, don't get me wrong, but going to play at the highest level, playing against the best people in the world and really achieving my potential, that's what really drives me.
Cool. Great answer. And I'm excited to see how you do over these next couple of years, Peter. Really appreciate the time. Excited to see how you do your senior season. Excited to get out and see you as well. So, Peter, best of luck moving forward, and hopefully we can talk again soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on.